Heavy when the screens light up. Silence in the room, but the numbers talk rough. Red and green flicker like a warning sign. Every second calls when you're running out of time. This ain't hype, this is pressure and math. One wrong red, turn the wind to the... Clock hit heavy when the screens light up. Silence in the room, but the numbers talk rough. Red and green flicker like a warning sign. Every second calls when you're running out of time. This ain't hype, this is pressure and math. One wrong red, turn the wind to the past. No applause in the middle of pain, just conviction, risk, and the way to the game. It's the hour the lies fall apart. When the trend get exposed and the weak lose heart. You don't guess here, you commit or you fold. Every candle printer gotta earn its control. Power hour, yeah, the room get cold. Liquidity shift, watch the story unfold. No comfort trades, no second chance. When the clock start ticking, better know your stand. Power hour where the noise get cut.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the new show here on the Piper Academy. Hopefully it went live over on your channel, JR. If it didn't, just let me know, and then we can change things for the next one. But how are you doing today, JR? Oh, I think you're muted.
Oh shit, good. How are you? Sorry about that.
Doing all right. It's nice having the days. I got back from the gym and then finished up with our funny little thumbnail there. So I made a joke yesterday and then I just ran with it for the thumbnail. So
Yes, you did.
oh yeah. But- so I teased yesterday kind of what the show is. For anyone that didn't get to see that yesterday, kind of want to give that breakdown for what today's shows are and what Power Hour is supposed to be about going forward. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will have, as you see, JR on here. So on JR days, we will have a little segment where JR gets to do his thing. You know, you guys love JR's TA. You love his degeneracy. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, you get your dose of JR. It'll kind of contrast the more seriousness that I want to dive into here on the show. A lot of this will be about more than just what the chart is showing. This will be about the psychology of why a move does what it does, or why it didn't do what we expected it to do. So that's one segment of the show. Towards the end of the show, every day, we're going to try to work on building up a trading strategy with you guys. We had a few indicators requested. I talked to JR about it yesterday. We want to look at the fixed range volume profile and CVD to build up a scalping strategy. So if there's anyone here in the chat that would like to add a few indicators to that so we can build up a robust trading strategy, go ahead and let us know what kind of indicators you would like to see. If it doesn't work with this strategy, we will use those going forward. We also want to do Q&As here. So shorter little segment where you have the ability to just ask us some questions. It can be trading questions. Mostly that's kind of what we'd like to ask, but we had a few history questions yesterday asking me about how I got into all of this. So be prepared, JR. You might get some off the wall questions here, and I'm sure you will run with it quite nicely. The other part of what we'd like to do here on the show is make sure that you guys have all of the tools besides TA to fully trade. So we've got a little bit of TA that we'd like to do at the end of the show too. Viewer requested. So towards the end of the show, we will open that up and see if there's any requests that you guys would like to look at. But as we teased here at the beginning of the show, This is going to be about liquidity today. I've got a whole lot built up, and I'm sure JR will have quite a bit to talk about when it comes to liquidity as well, because he likes to trade with liquidity. So, first, let's dive into what the market is kind of looking like today. This won't be going over some charts. This will kind of just be a broad overview before we get to what liquidity is, how it acts, how it gets built, why it doesn't get taken, or why it does get taken here. So, let's switch over to my screen share real quick. And if there's anything that you would seen that you feel needs to be shared in this market overview, JR, just let me know, and we can go to your screen share afterwards.
Okay, thanks.
All right. We are looking a little bit of a mixed market over here on the TradFi side. We've got Apple up 0.1%, looking like it's seeing a little bit of a struggle right now, seeing some sell pressure. Got Nvidia down 3.2% right now. Berkshire Hathaway doing pretty nice, up 1.41%. We've got Amazon down 2.3%. Eli Lilly got smacked around today, sitting down 4%. We've got ExxonMobil up 3.55, Tesla sitting down 0.63. We've got P&G up 1.68, Microsoft sitting down 2.5. We've got Google down 0.96, and we've got Meta down 1.68. Hopping over to some of these other areas that we look at in the market, we see gold and silver with a pretty decent recovery today, up 6% on gold, up 6.5% on silver. S&P 500 looking like it's getting hit just a little bit, down 1%. We've got the Dow Jones down 0.72. Russell 2000s, your small caps, are down 0.6%. Hopping over to the crypto side of things, we're seeing some pretty mixed bubbles over here as well, but you got some nice big green ones here, like STX up 16.8. We've got Hype recovering quite nicely. We talked about that this morning on the morning market report here. Bitcoin looking like it's pretty flat today, 0% change on the daily. Ethereum down 1.4. BNB a little bit green on that daily. XRP with a pretty decent retracement, down 1.4%. Really got to scroll outside of that top 20 to see some crazy movements, though. So, looking like a little bit down the risk curve, things are doing a little bit well. Did you have anything to share with the market pulse today, JR?
The market pulse, dump
Yeah,
it.
this little segment here. Did you have anything that you were keeping your eye on for today?
No, I'm just in some trades.
All right. Well, do you want to share a few of those, or you want to save that for later?
I'll save it.
All right, sounds good. Well, like I said at the beginning, this show is about liquidity. And I know JR likes to trade with liquidity. So before I get into my more technical part of liquidity, I'll bring up a chart here in a little bit, kind of show you how liquidity gets built and how we look at liquidity with some indicators. Is there anything that you wanted to go over about liquidity before I get really, really nerdy? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, sure. I could go over the basics.
All right. Well, bring it on up, sir.
Just gotta find it. Oh, this is it. No, this ain't it. What? Hang on. It messed with my chart, bro. There's extra lines on it.
Well,
Just hang on. I'll make sure it's the same one. Oh, this is Bitcoin dominance. Sorry, my bad.
well, that might be why. You want me to get
BNB.
your screen share pulled on up? Go over something with liquidity.
I don't know where it is, bro. But yeah, I'll find it. I'll find it. You can pull it up.
All right. Well,
Oh, I found it.
perfect timing, just
Yeah.
as you hopped on the screen.
Yeah, how does this look on the? Am I frozen, bro?
Nope, you're not frozen.
I'm frozen. Oh, okay, okay. Um, so yeah, liquidity. Basically, I got like this. I just drew out this example of liquidity, like a strategy.
Oh, and JR being JR, it can't be liquidity, it's liquidity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to Jesse. Good look. He's probably napping or something. But so basically, liquidity is just below highs and lows, and there's external liquidity. So like, uh, basically on the daily, you look for extreme highs and lows, and you'd find external liquidity, and then inside the daily candle, you'd find internal liquidity, right? Like if we're uptrending to go get this daily liquidity, and then it'll come down and it'll sweep this liquidity, everyone's stop losses, and fill any resting orders it has there before it pew sends it. And then, so when it sweeps the external liquidity of the highs, I would look for a short to target the liquidity of the lows. And for internal liquidity, this would be the entry to target the external liquidity. So if you're inside here, sweeps the liquidity on this uptrend, enter your long to target the liquidity on the top side, and then short to hit the liquidity on the bottom side. And usually the market just does that forever, either sideways or up at an angle or down at an angle, aka channels and ranges. And yeah,
Well,
that's my liquidity spiel.
all right. Well, a lot of that will go quite nicely into what I had to talk about. You really highlighted a key point about what liquidity is. And when it comes to liquidity, liquidity are orders, not levels. It's a big part of the psychology of it. And when you're looking at liquidity on a chart, and you're trying to figure out what it really means, there's a few different things that this can mean. Liquidity underneath can be an area of safety where a trader looks at the chart and he thinks that if I put my stop loss here, this is a safe area where I'm not going to be taken out of my trade. Or if I am taken out, I am protecting my capital. We all use stop losses. We kind of get the idea of that one. But also, liquidity is an area of confidence where I'm pretty confident that price is not going to go below this area. And how liquidity gets built is when you're seeing a overall general consensus in the market. When the I know JR brings it up quite a bit in his shows, but he talks about the consensus of the market. Hey, the market's 56% long right now. The market's 70% short right now. And a lot of that is how liquidity gets built, when a lot of traders have the same idea of where the market might go. And how you might use this when it comes to charting is looking at a pressure of where price might go. And JR talked about that when he gave his little breakdown there. Is there's internal liquidity, there's external liquidity, and he pinpointed very nicely how you kind of look for those within a chart. Prior highs, prior lows, range boundaries. Normally these are the areas where liquidity gets built right outside. Repeated tests of an area, normally you see orders stacking there, and you'll kind of see the liquidity built within the range where you have a bunch of orders set because that has been support. So this is also a psychology of keeping traders trapped sometimes, because you've got orders that are built up at an area over and over and over again, and it makes people get comfortable. And that's where you add that external part of liquidity, of it's not just the chart. And it's how market makers really take advantage of the overall market, where, hey, we know that people are looking here for support over and over again. They're comfortable setting their order there. And that's why you hear that, well, my order is set where your stop loss is. And that really kind of changes that psychology of it, because liquidity is a big driver, but it's not the only driver. a lot of the times they will use that to kind of trap a trader where, hey, we know there's this liquidity here. And we saw it yesterday. We got that big dump on Bitcoin. There was like $200 million directly under that dump point. And then we reverse. And there's reasons for that. It allows them to double the liquidity. So instead of just taking it right there, and now it's very easy to pump that price up, or actually it was harder to go grab that liquidity because a lot of that sell pressure or the people that are short are now exiting the market. So let me get a chart pulled on up. This is going to be a naked chart. We will go with that Bitcoin chart. Hopefully it's actually naked there. Let me get all my indicators off. Apparently it's not naked. Hiding everything. Nope, wrong thing there. Hide, fixed range, volume profile, hiding it all.
Yeah, I just deleted a bunch of those too. I was like, delete, 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 delete.
Yep. So here is a naked chart. And like I was talking about yesterday, when it comes to liquidity, we saw that big dump. And I just said that we left all of that liquidity open. And as you can see, that was right below our lows from here. And JR talked about it, where normally you look at those big lows or the big highs. There's a bunch of liquidity up here. There's a bunch of liquidity directly underneath this low here. Well, you kind of got to pull up a few indicators here to find out why these market makers might have left that open. Some of that is going to be volume based, which you guys wanted to build a strategy with. So that'll be a little bit nice for later when we go up to build that strategy. Also, some of this is momentum and money flow, where is it going to be easier for me to push this down to actually grab up this liquidity? Or is it going to be easier for me to stall this out, build even more liquidity so that now we can, with less effort, come up and grab this liquidity? So a lot of this needs to be taken into account when you're going to be taking a trade. Let's get this pulled on up with a volume so that we can kind of see here what we're talking about when we bring this up. So bringing up a volume, we will see here volume. There we go. Simple, nice and easy. As you zoom this on in here, you can kind of see as we were getting that dump here, your volume switched up pretty quickly. You had very low volume at the beginning of the dump. You saw a little bit of pressure in here to try to maintain our lows, to try to keep from grabbing up a bit of this liquidity that was in our internal range, like JR was talking about just a second ago. And then you really saw that overwhelming pressure coming on in with a lack of bullish pressure and a switch to some bearish pressure here. As you can see, once we got extremely close to that liquidity, you saw a slow up of that bearish pressure, and then you saw a pickup of some bullishness. And as you can see on that volume, as soon as we got to this one, we have very low bearish volume. This is to start building up even more liquidity underneath this. This is to kind of trap some people in this area and build up more liquidity so that with even less effort, when you exhaust all of this bullish pressure here, you can really take the $300 million that is sitting underneath this. Part of how you're going to look at if this liquidity is going to be taken or not is going to be with your momentum indicators here. So RSI, I use the Prime Oscillator Pro. If you are not using the Prime Oscillator Pro and you just want to use an RSI, that works just as well. This one also gives you that money flow indicator here. So that's kind of why I wanted to use this one instead. It also shows you your volume here. As we saw this sell off, you've saw a decrease in your sell volume. And a lot of this kind of indicates that you might not actually grab that liquidity down there. And this might be a move to build up even more liquidity before taking that with even less effort. You've also watched your money flow kind of switch from green to red here, indicating that a lot of the bulls are just taking a step back right now. So they really want to see that liquidity get taken too, so that the bears take the step back once the liquidity is taken, and then they can push it higher to grab some of the liquidity that would be up above this area here in your $90,000 range. So this is a big part of how liquidity gets used to take a trade. I know you have a little strategy that kind of uses that method right there, JR. I know you talked about it before the show, so you kind of want to tease that a little bit. You're muted.
Sure.
You're like OC, man, always muted.
Steven Spielberg. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Let's see. So yeah, right now, this is a good example. We're sweeping these lows right now. So I did a fib pull. I was looking for like a 618 or 786 or 888, but it disrespected all of them. So that's out. But we are sweeping these lows. So safe entry. I look at my oscillators too to see what they're doing when we're sweeping lows. We're getting bull dips. We're getting these green candles on the MVP oscillator, and that's juicy. That's usually that'll provide some sort of pump. Usually, I think it tracks volume and stuff and a few different things. And then this bull dip on the 15-minute plus clipping. But yeah, and we're sweeping the lows. So I just added to my long. But safe entry though, if you want to be safe, shout out to Alex O. If you want to be safe, you can wait for this to close back within this range. So like if this is if this is the range high, basically range low like that, right? Liquidity above, liquidity below. Right now it's sweeping the liquidity below. If you want to wait for the full recovery, close back within this range and wait for the retest basically and enter the long, you could. Or if you want to be a risky degen and do 1/4 position, you could toss 1/4 position right now. Not financial advice, just what I would do. And then I'd look to higher time frames too to check the oscillators, just to see if they have lots more room to go down. And they got a little bit of room, but not much. They're already kind of low, eh? But yeah, so this is basically, we got a div here, and then I want this to be a higher low again, and then we're getting a lower low again. So this will be another div on a larger time frame. This looks rank, bro. This looks savage. Live.
Oh yeah. And honestly, you brought up a key point to something to kind of look for when you're looking for that switch after either liquidity is getting taken or that it might get left. Those divergences in your momentum indicator, letting you know that someone's taking a step back and they might be leaving that liquidity on the floor to be taken later, or that they might be snatching that up and then keeping that momentum going in the direction to build up more liquidity towards the upside. So liquidity is a small part of trading strategies that kind of need to be kept in mind. You know, it gets talked about a bit where liquidity is not a great indicator. Uh, and that's because sometimes it gets left. And you really got to understand the extra part of liquidity to understand why it didn't get taken. Well, it got left for a purpose. It got left because it would have taken too much effort to grab up that liquidity, and it would have taken more effort to try to push it through when you could have just taken a step back, allowed the bullish pressure to exhaust itself or bearish pressure to exhaust itself and build up even more liquidity there to, with even less money, push that price back down and get even more money than you would have originally. So a lot of this is a psychological game, and some of it is an emotional game. You got to take these things into account when you're going to be trading. That's kind of all I had for some liquidity there. I don't know if there's anything else that you kind of thought about when I was going through all of that, but we
Yeah,
can.
I zoomed out. Sorry to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say we can build on liquidity on another show.
Yeah, I zoomed out on this Bitcoin chart because I was like, shit, that looks pretty aggressive. So then I zoomed out to see if there's more liquidity for the pickings for MM. And we're sweeping this liquidity too from over here, these lows. So not only like local liquidity, but like old liquidity back here too, like stop losses and resting orders, people that thought it was going to retrace, but it didn't. And then there's all this liquidity here too, way back here on the move up. See, before they sent it, they swept right here, swept it, and then moved up, retest, continuation. So they left all this liquidity, all these lows here have never been tapped. So I moved this pink box over here. So this is all fair game. So like I was saying, how if you didn't wait for the retest and reclaim of the range, how I was saying quarter position, this is why. Because there's a huge spot where you might need those other quarter positions if you're not waiting for the safe reclaim and retest of the range.
Oh yeah, and that's why I was kind of bringing up some of the liquidity, especially when we're looking like this is officially the bear market. There's a lot of liquidity underneath us, but you're going to see a very big psychological game starting to be played on the way to the downside because there's a lot of liquidity underneath those areas. But do they want to grab the liquidity and then just push through? Or do they want to stall things out, kind of pause at that level, and then build up even more liquidity in that area, kind of take some of that top side so that there's not that pressure back up left open before they really sweep through that extra level there?
And
So
I just noticed something else that's worth noting for anyone trading. Um, on the 4 hour, on the daily, this is even better. It's better than the 15, it's better than the 1 hour, better than two, better than the four. On the daily, we're getting these green candles on this MVP oscillator firing. And if you just look back in time, every time we get these green candles firing, just something to note with this liquidity sweep happening right now, we usually get a move up. Even when the green candles were lackluster, they weren't that great, we still got to move up. And that move is, we'll measure it just to see what a guy, worst case scenario ish, is looking for. 9%, 8%, 9%. So we're getting those green candles firing right now on the daily, but they're firing harder and heavier and higher than the previous times we got bounces. So we could see a relief, a relief bounce, a retrace up to this undercarriage, or to sweep these highs too to take that liquidity, like right there, or clone it, or above these highs. Where see how we got previous resistance here? Ting tested it, lost it. Then now it tested it for resistance, continuation down. It could for our relief bounce, it could go up here and sweep this, and then look for another short. Just thought
and
it's worth noting.
and a lot of that you can tell by looking at some of the volume and some of your money flow here. So order books, easy way to kind of tell things, watching the trend from the short term time frame to the large term time frame. And grabbing that would be a really smart move for these bears because it keeps that pressure from really being there. So let's see. What was that next section we really want to go over? Do we want to go into a JR's a degen segment, everyone, or do we want to go over to our Q&A here? We also have some other things that we could do where we're going into our building a trade strategy. So kind of going to leave that open. JR, what is there one that you would like to do first? You muted.
For what?
See?
Yeah, I know.
For next, would you like to go over our Q&A? Would we like to do a Q&A? And then you can go into your degen segment. Should we save the building a trade strategy for last? You got any ideas for today?
We'll save the degen shitcoin casino hunting stuff for the end because it's just it's just a boredom thing I do with my pocket change and a degen account. It's not really important. We'll do all the important stuff first, eh?
All right, sounds good to me. So, I guess we can go into a Q&A session next. Let me open up that floor for engagement here. Start a Q&A. Ask me anything. And then you guys have that ability. Ask any questions you might have. Could be on liquidity, could be on anything else. I'll give you a few seconds to kind of, or a few minutes to kind of get those in there. And then if there are any TA, technical analysis, that you would like to see on any assets, stocks, cryptos, go ahead, throw those in the chat now as well. But so for today, JR, was there anything that you wanted to kind of keep your eye on when it comes to some of this liquidity with trading? Was there anything you would kind of also saw on like the Bitcoin chart or any of these altcoins?
I'm
Yeah,
not muted, eh?
nope, you got it right this time.
Woo! I just forgot I forgot to mute it. That's the only reason. But so since I'm seeing this liquidity sweep and all these bullish indicators saying that we might get a relief bounce, I would look to this. I guess we are. This is kind of hunting shitcoins, but so I would look to this RSI heat map screener because like look at all these red tails, bro. These are all falling hard on the 4 hour. So when I want to see when these are bottomed out. So I'd look at like Zama, Bank, some of them, and then I'd zoom in to see if they're on the 1 hour as well. Now I'm looking on the 1 hour. Bank still down there. Zama, did Zama already start reversing, or is it just hiding? Either way, Solve, Huma. But yeah, I'd be looking for longs. Maybe this OG up here. There's still this OG up here. We might be able to short that. And then I zoom in on the 15-minute. Look again. Anything bottomed out. OG looks. Some OG might be a good short. Let's check it out. Might as well, eh? Oh yeah, I'm short Sun too. Look how good that went. This is from this morning's live stream.
I
Oh,
think
they
you
can't
got
hear.
I think you're on the wrong one for sharing it because I just see your Bitcoin chart.
Oh, I got it to my yeah. I got it to my. I gotta switch each one individually.
Just share the full screen.
The window, yeah.
Yeah.
The window. Sun, boom. How's that? Does that work?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, same way I found Sun this morning. And I shorted it, and it's printing hard. So good job, EA. Let's look OG now. Oh, River too. I found that like that too. So it works. Proof of concept. Let's check out OG. So they didn't even see me hunt it.
No.
Shit, bro. Gonna have to tune in next time. Okay, so let's check some oscillators here. 15 looks good, but that's deceiving. So I checked the 4 hour. Topped out, double top on the 4 hour. We already got a fake out here. Like it would look like it was going down, but then now it's going back up for a sweep. So that's good on there. Money flow is still climbing. It's probably pretty risky, but it's kind of my thing. So I'm gonna short it. I'm gonna try to short it. Small position, 1/8 position, because it might not go my way.
Oh, taking a stab live on air. That's another thing that we kind of wanted to do here for the show. Do a little bit of live trading for you guys, kind of show what we're looking at. This is more of the New York PM session. So tomorrow, when it is just a me show, I'm going to break down ICT and show you guys kind of how I use that strategy. That is going to be something that I really enjoy. There are 4 sessions a day, so you get 4 stabs on the market. I know JR uses something similar. It's not ICT, but it is called Orb, and that is also another great one as well. Someone said that we're taking the liquidity right now, so let me get
Nice.
that zoomed on out. Take a look at that 3-month there. As you can see, we are starting to break below those lows that we were looking at on that more higher term time frame chart there. Let me get this zoomed on out to the 6 month. Rashad in the chat. Good afternoon. That was Earth Guardian saying that we were taking some of those lows. As you can see, we've started to break into this liquidity node here. So definitely looking like they're trying to take a little bit of a stab at it. I would expect a little bit of this to get left, especially when you're zooming on in. And if it would stop trying to let me know what I'm trying to click on, there we go. Zoom this on in. Take a look at that 2 week there. There is an area of liquidity above us. We talked about that on the show this morning. I guess I got to go to that 1 week instead. As you can see, there's quite a bit of liquidity above us in that 80,000. So to grab up some of that liquidity and then see some exhaustion on either the bears or the bulls there would be a move to kind of watch for. So keep those indicators in mind, see how volume is acting, see how money flow is acting when we start grabbing up some of this liquidity. Keep your eyes on a potential bounce to grab up some of that liquidity above us so we don't leave that pull towards the upside open. That really makes it harder. So BC bro, Evercoin will $0. Every coin. I don't know about that one. We did have a few questions though. So Mark Dutch was like, "Are you wearing pants right now?" uh, I'm wearing pajama pants. I don't know about JR.
Commando.
There we go. If I wasn't on a live stream, I'd be, and it wasn't, like
That's what
below
makes it funner, bro.
but also if it wasn't 30 degrees,
Oh
maybe
yeah.
not. So it's a little bit chilly in my house. My computer and all of that is right next to a window too. So yeah, that's not as fun. We also had a question about the thumbnail. Why does JR have white hair in the thumbnail? So yesterday, I tried to have a little meeting with JR to kind of set up some of the stuff for the show. And JR was taking a nap. And then he let me know afterwards when he woke back up that he had taken a nap. So I made fun of him for being old and made a Grandpa JR picture. Let me find that here.
Bro,
Where
I get up so early and I'm up so late. I need a nap to do this.
No, I totally feel it. It I used to do the same thing all the time. So let me get that. Here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, why
Uh,
don't you? Why don't you get that picture?
Grandpa JR has seen this before. He most definitely has. So I had to tease him just a little bit. Naps are cool. And I totally enjoy them too. But middle of the day, you might get made fun of, JR, if you're talking about being old and taking naps.
Dude, 4 a.m. to freaking midnight. And that leaves 4 hours to sleep, bro. And
Hmm.
like I start getting goofy on stream and shit if I don't get proper sleep. And I noticed and I was like, I need to start napping.
No, I totally get it. Because, like, I wake up, I get off work at 12 a.m. And
Whew.
then I don't always get to bed right away. So, with doing Piper's show in the mornings, I've been waking up at like 5 o'clock. So, I'll get like maybe 3, 4 hours of sleep and then have to go back to work and work 4 to midnight. So, no, I totally get it. It can be a bit exhausting. But, I think the people like Sleepy JR because he's funnier.
Every now and then I'll let it go a little further than a guy should.
Hey, sometimes you gotta. We got Darren Does Things in the house.
Woo.
Appreciate you tuning on in today. That was pretty much all I saw for a Q&A. We didn't have any other questions rolling on in. So let's dive on into JR's little segment. I know he went over a few of the TAs that he was looking at, but do you want to show the people what you do when you're looking for a poopy doopy coin to trade?
Whoops. Yeah, sure, bro.
All right, your screen's
My
up.
setup already got stopped.
Aw.
The setup, not me. I only did 1/4 position, so my stop loss is wider, right? Whew. Solana, bro. I gotta take profits. Sorry, you guys. This is crazy. You guys see this? Where's Solana? Let's look at this. Look at this shit. It's stopping out my. This is my juicy zone right here.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespected, bro. Are we going for previous week low, previous month low? We might be.
I know. I was talking about Solana the other day. I don't even have my soul chart put. Dang. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. That's why I gotta take profit on my short. I don't know if it's coming back this low. This is savage.
$97. You know, I called out 92.78 for a potential area on Solana there. So I guess JR's degen segment is going to be taking a lot of profits.
No, I'm almost done. I'm just managing one more trade. I'm adding to my OG will not stop you guys. Okay, so I just added to OG short. So anyways, yeah, basically I just go over this RSI heat map screener and look for outliers, outliers, and then I check them on the chart and see if I like them. I topped on it from the 4 hour. See, I should have looked at OG on the 4 hour. It's totally not done going up. But that's okay. I still have 2 positions to add, so I'll wait till it's up here and then I'll add those. And then hopefully it falls with these. Look at this red. Everything's tank. Is there any news, BC? This is crazy.
I don't know. I'm on the show, so
Like it's a Tuesday, bro. This is a
Mhm.
Tuesday.
Well,
This is
and so
crazy.
Monday fake out, Tuesday continuation. So I don't know.
It adds up.
We'll have to. I'm sure if there is some news, you guys will hear about it tomorrow morning. Uh, you know, so
Yeah, all I can think of is try to short OG if we keep going down, or start looking for longs like STO, APR, any of these. Look on the
so
4 hour.
what is that website so the people know what you are using there?
CoinGlass.
CoinGlass, and what section of CoinGlass?
It's in the data section up here at the top. We go to data, technical indicator, RSI heat map. I was just
All right.
looking on the 4 hour. I'm gonna check out bank. Everyone likes bank. Let's see if we can make some bank on bank. Dude, fight's holding well for this dump. Oh, that's on the 4 hour. Never mind. It's not. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just sideways all day. I was gonna long this yesterday, but it wasn't doing nothing, so I got bored with it. But what was I looking at? Bank. Oh shit balls. Bank. Let's check out bank. See what it looks like. Bank, 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 baby. Let's go.
Maybe bank will
Woo!
make you some bank.
Hopefully. Check out the 4 hour.
Jeez,
Yeah, bro. This is savage.
what a
It would,
dumperoo.
yeah. It could go for this stuff. Those
Mhm.
lows. So if I was gonna ladder in right now, just want to check some things. I'm gonna check the 8 hour too. I'm just seeing how the momentum indicators are bottomed out. So if we check this, this is an easy way to check. If you guys want to check any of your indicators when you're testing, if you're like, oh, how do I know what to do when my indicator says this or does this? You can look for lows and highs, and you can just mark lows and highs and then go look at your indicator. Or you can just look at the indicator and be like, okay, this is really low. What happened the last time it was really low like that? And then you put it right there because it's the same lowness as this. And what happened last time it was really low like that? We gotta move up, right? And then it doesn't always work perfectly though. You're not gonna get a juicy move. So this time it was low here, and you got a little jog up, and then this time this was probably low. See, I can't even see the candles, so I'm not like hindsight's 2020. Blah, blah. I'm not doing that. I'm just marking when it was the same lowness as it is now. Let's go up here and see what happened. Please God, don't look stupid. Please God. Like more stupid than I already am. Don't look any stupider than I already am. So last time it was that low, it was on a downtrend, so we got like who was saying that today? Was it you or someone was saying it today? I think it was Alex O and OC in a chart prime session. They're saying during the bear market when you get bull divs and stuff, they don't really play as much as they do in a bull market, right? So this is a good example of a healthy downtrend. Clearly, it's a downtrend. But so we had the RSI bottomed out, and I'm sure we probably had maybe a bull div. I don't know. No, no bull div on the 8 hour though. There might have been a bull div. Let's check on the 4 hour, just for educational purposes. We gotta go way back though. But that's what it takes. Yeah, see, we got multi-divs eventually, shortly after the RSI was totally bottomed out. We got multi-divs, and it still didn't do much. But yeah, so on the 8 hour, back to our first initial test, we did get a bounce though. So it's enough to trade. I can trade a bounce like that. Let's see what kind of percent we got on it. From the RSI bottomed out on the 8 hour to before it went back down and wicked us out. So the least amount is a 16% move up. That's pretty good. And then to the top of the candle body is 23%. So based off that, just like, problem solving and like educational, hypothetical deductive thinking, we could expect like a 12 to 20% bounce soon-ish, potentially, from here. 12 to 20, and that's just like this. It's nothing much, just to there. So remember where that is, and long, drop along. And you can maybe aim for previous support. Expected to get a bearish retest, flipped as resistance. Basically, previous support just means where this shit found support, where these candles found support, where they wick down, bounce back up, tap back down, bounce back up. So then I'm calling that temporary local previous support, roughly around there. Broke out, retest, then now we're losing it. So now I'm looking for a bearish retest for the long bounce, right? And then I'd flip short shortly after based on like what price was doing, what the momentum indicators were doing. So that's your safest entry. If I wanted to do quarter position here, I could do that or whatever, anything like that. I'm gonna try it. Ooh, almost in juicy profit on a couple. Okay, bank. I'm taking bank, and we'll post these trade updates when I close these, even if they're red, even if I get butt hurt. We'll post the updates on these live trades in the Piper Academy Discord as well, just so you know what happened.
That link is at the top of the chat. If you are not a member, it is $5 a month just to keep the scammers and the bots out. So hope to see you there. We did have a TA request though. So let me get my screen shared on up. And then it is pretty close to the end of the show. So we don't really have time to go over building a trade strategy with you guys today. We can save some of that for tomorrow. I will be going live. JR will not be here though. So stay tuned. See him on Thursday's show. But we did have 2 indicators that were asked for to build up our trade strategy. And those 2 indicators, let me get the list pulled on up, were the volume profile and CVD. So the cumulative volume delta and the volume profile. This was for a scalping strategy. If there's any other indicators that you guys would like to use in confluence with those 2 indicators there to build up a scalping trade strategy, go ahead, throw those in the chat now, and then I will get something worked up so that we can build a strategy live on air with you tomorrow, so that going forward, you guys know how to build a trade strategy if you don't already, how we back test a trade strategy and all of that. What you got, JR?
I'm taking profit on OG short. I added to it in the red up high, and now it just went into profit. So I took profit on it back to original position size. Shout out to trading.
Dang, already making money. All right, we did have IP requested, so let me go over that TA real quick. We are breaking the absolute lows of IP. We've got a little bit of a wick here that we are trying to take out. Liquidity would be underneath that area. We just talked about liquidity, so you should be able to tell that just by looking at the chart here. Let me get that cleaned on up. Let's get that one out of there. That was not an area anymore. So we've got a fib extension level. We are breaking into all new ranges here. So we need to take a look at what we might hit going forward. Let's get our highs to our low to our highs here. And it looks like we lost our 382 here. We tried to hold that as support, made this a new high. Now we are breaking through that 236. You saw that little test on that area. Tried to get that pushback to it. Really saw that harsh rejection through our 382 here. As you can see, our support level first is going to be that 132. Looking like it'd probably get swept though, because there is liquidity underneath it. So the first area to kind of keep your eyes on here is going to be $1.17. That is that 50% line on our fib extensions. This is that extension to the downside, so that we can kind of figure out where mathematically things might end up going. We are starting to see just a little bit of bottoming here on the daily time frame, so keep your eyes on some of that here as you're seeing your money flow look a little bit bottomed. It did get a brief visit into some red money flow. You're pretty close to bottomed here on your Prime Oscillator Pro. You've got a little bit of some red volume here, but it is starting to slow down. Could still see that liquidity grabbed up underneath here. Let's get that zoomed on in. Take a look at this 4 hour. As you can see, we were trying to get a little bit of some support at that 124 level. Really looking like you might get that test on top of it. 4 hour looking a little bit bearish here. You are below your zero line on that MACD, getting some curvature here as well. You've got your money flow sitting in the red pretty nicely, at an indecision point, moving sideways as we're getting this rollover here on that prime oscillator as well. Starting to see a little bit of a switch of volume here on the 4 hour. So like I was saying, for that daily time frame, keep your eyes on some of that. See if we're going to see a little bit of a pause when we get down here to grab up some of that liquidity. Let's get that zoom on in. Take a look at our hourly, see what the rest of the day might bring our way here. We are ranging a little bit sideways on that MACD, still below our zero line though. So keep your eyes on this as that MACD is getting that break below. You are pretty low here on your prime oscillator as well, but you're starting to see that switch up of money flow that we were talking about. So might get that bounce first on our support level to try to build up more liquidity here. Give a little bit of a push towards the upside, try to clear out some of that liquidity that would be towards the top side there above about $1.50. Let's get a short-term time frame horizontal drawn on up for you. Let's see, on this one we've got a short-term time frame about $1.53. Seeing if we can find some bottoming here. We are switching volume while we're switching money flow, so a little bit of bearish pressure still stepping on it in, but looking like it could get overwhelmed here quickly. 15-minute and the next couple of hours looking pretty close to bottomed. Got some heavily red money flow here after that diamond flashed. So nice and cooled off here on the oscillator. Starting to see a little bit of a divergence on our money flow and our volume. Starting to see a little bit of bottoming there as well, but looking like it's not the biggest switch yet. So to see us move just a little bit lower to that 124 in the shorter term, after a little bit of a push back up, retest some of this in the shorter term time frame, about $1.37 before we get that push to 124 might be the move to watch for. Let's get that extremely short-term time frame horizontal drawn on up for you so you can see that just a little bit better. That is our very short-term time frame horizontal to kind of see if we get a test on 136. That'd be that area to kind of watch for a test, watch a rejection, see if we can get some support, grab up some of the liquidity on top before we really get that better push down below here to grab up even more liquidity. So that's what I got for that one. JR, you had sent something over to me. What you got?
Just the live trade, the OG short. I reduced. I went back to original position size, and then I
You
went
gotta
even.
you gotta reshare that screen. Yeah, you ended up closing something out.
Oh, I wasn't trying to share. I thought you were just
Oh.
gonna share the picture.
Oh,
Was it?
I can do that as well.
But yeah,
So,
there's the OG chart. Oh, your screen's up, anyways.
your screen's up now.
Oh, is it?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so I added to it. Remember, it stopped me out live, and then I added to it up here, and now it's in 53 or better percent. I sent BC I took profit on it, so I sent him the thing to share. Yeah, 35% right now.
Looking like 46.76 was that picture that you had sent over to me. So we do it live sometimes, folks. We will try to work up something so that we can actually share when we're taking the trade live and all of that, so you can watch some of that process there before we really get into some of our psychological breakdowns of whatever we want to focus on for the day. So it is 12:59 now. I didn't see any request for some indicators. I see Dave Digital in the house. Thanks for tuning on in today. We've got All Set tuning in as well, sliding on in
Yes.
as the show is close to over. Appreciate you showing on up. We will go live every single afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if there is anything you would like us to focus on going forward, about trading psychology, leave us a comment below so that we can try to best suit our show towards the things that you guys would like to know. Today was liquidity. If there's something you guys want to see, though, let us know, and we will build up a show for you on that. Also, if there is any indicators that you would like to see us build a strategy with, go ahead, throw those in the comments or the chat real quick, and then we will get those. We will work on something in the background to build up a trading strategy with you guys. But you got anything to leave the people with, JR?
Join Piper Academy, only $5. Happy printing. Peace.
All right. You guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you at more of these Power Hour shows. And if there is anything you would like to know, let us know in the comments, and we will try to cater this show to you guys the best that we can. Trading psychology. Can you prescribe drugs? I wish. It's not that kind of thing, though. To me, trading is the drug. So it has helped me stay sober. So
Facts.
all right. Well, thanks for joining us here on the Power Hour every afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Hope to see you at the future shows, and trade safe. Use that stop loss, and have a good rest of your Tuesday. Later.
Clock hit heavy when the screens light up. Silence in the room, but the numbers talk rough. Red and green flicker like a warning sign. Every second calls when you're running out of time. This ain't hype, this is pressure and math. One wrong red, turn the wind to the past. No applause in the middle of pain, just conviction, risk, and the way to the game. It's the hour the lies fall apart. When the trend get exposed and the weak lose heart. You don't guess here, you commit or you fold. Every candle printed gotta earn its control.